Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is September the 6th, 2021. I'm wishing everyone a happy Labor Day today. I am coming to you on Monday as opposed to Sunday. I didn't want to take away a little step away from the charts to refresh myself. And as you guys can see here, we do have the S&P chart open in front of us. And we did have a week where we did consolidate quite a bit. However, we did make all-time highs, almost hitting my targets of 45.50. As you guys can see here, we did spike to 45.45 before closing Friday's session at 45.35. Next week, I am looking at that 45.50 mark as my key entry point for potential take profits at 45.60 and 45.80. I also have strong bullish targets at 4,600 psychological. However, we do have economical data coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday that can definitely push the market all the way up there if we do see some great numbers in terms of job numbers and economic indicators that usually push us past those key levels that I'm looking at. Now to the downside, we do have 45.20 as key support. As you guys can see here, we did consolidate around that area, holding it last week. So if we do see some weakness, you definitely need to look at that 45.20 area. A break below that, I am looking at shorts down to 4,500 psychological. As you guys can see as well, we did have that as strong resistance. Previous resistance now turns to support, as you guys know. So 4,500 would be my first take profit target to the downside. And if we do see continued weakness, look for 44.80 and 44 respectively, as those are key areas of support where we did bounce from a few weeks ago. Overall, I am pretty bullish on the market, and we did create a nice bull flag here, and we are consolidating for another break higher to confirm the next bull flag, potentially up above that $45.60 area. The trend is your friend continually, and I am bullish on the market. There's no sign of struggle or weakness. Consolidation could lead to a break higher, so I am watching that 45.50 mark going into tomorrow. I do have 6 names to speak about today on the docket list. However, please give this video a thumbs up before I get started. If you do enjoy my analysis, please subscribe and also click the little bell to get those notifications when the videos are coming up. I do want to start posting more and posting videos throughout the week, so look forward to that going next week and above. And if you do want to join Wealthy Mentor Trading, hit the link in the bio. We do have a promotion going on for September for $49.95. Members killed it in August, making over $64,000 collectively, which was amazing. I do want to see members this month also beat that. So if you want to join us, click the link in the bio and we can get you started. And if you have any questions, hit me up on IG at Wealthy Mentor Trading, and I can get you sorted right away. With that being said, guys, I do have 6 names on the docket, like I mentioned. And the first name that I want to look at going into next week that caught my attention was Apple. And the ticker for that is AAPL. And as you guys can see here, we did push higher on Apple last week, hitting 155 before closing just at support at 154. Going into tomorrow, I am looking above that 154 area, right? I would say 154.50 for my entries, for potential take profits at 156 and 160. Those are my bullish targets going into next week. We do have analyst upgrades pushing this all the way to 170, so keep that in mind. Also look at the QQQ sector, the technology sector. We are also forming a bull flag on the tech sector, so look for QQQ to break above 382, which would be your indicator, and also the S&P 500 that we are moving higher on Apple. I do want to see the S&P 500 break 45.50, and I do want to see QQQ break above 382, which would also push Apple all the way to that $156 target and that $160 target if we do see bullish momentum on the market leaders. Now to the downside, we do have 152 as key support. We did consolidate here quite a bit last week before grinding higher, and we also did have it as resistance below that, and previous resistance, as you guys know, turns into support. 152 is your support zone, and also 150 is your support zone. Previous resistance again, turns into support. I am looking at that 150 to 152 to hold. If we do see a weakness in the market, look for 150 to break for potential puts down to that 148, 147 area. Overall, I do not like to short Apple just because it is one of those names that tends to move with the market, and the market right now is bullish and at all-time highs. So I personally would like to see a break above 154.50 for an entry point and not short Apple at all. Pretty bullish on Apple, guys. So keep the names like QQQ in mind. The tech sector, if that does break above that 382 bullish bull flag that we have on QQQ, Apple definitely will hit those targets. Okay. Second name that I want to talk about is NVIDIA, NVDA. And as you guys can see here, NVIDIA did have a nice push on Friday, testing 130 resistance. However, we could not break it. Going into tomorrow on a Tuesday and a shortened week, I have targets of 135 and 235 and 240. We also have bullish analyst upgrades by Jefferies of $260. So keep that in mind if you are trading NVIDIA. We did have a nice bullish call on Friday on NVIDIA on the break of 226. Members killed it, made some great profits at Wealthy Mentor Trading. Unable to break 230 going into next week. I am looking for a break of 230.50, and for that reason is because we did have a wick up here all the way to 230.50. 230.50 would be my entry point for potential take profits at 235 and 240. To the downside, we do have some strong resistance at that $122 area. We did have a bounce here one time, and we also had another bounce here last week at that 222 area. If we do see some weakness, look for 222 to break for potential shorting opportunities to 220, where we did have strong support here. I would close my position here if I'm shorting. And if we do see some continued weakness, 217 would be your next support area on NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been creating bull flag after bull flag, and this could be another one right here at 230, flag pull, and the flag itself could be the consolidation area underneath 230 for a break higher to hit those targets of 235, as I mentioned. Bullish on NVIDIA, like to see the semiconductor sector confirm its move up, along with some convincing volume for a break above that 230 area. Okay, that is NVIDIA on the hourly time frame. Next name that caught my attention, and it did bring this to your guys' attention last week on last week's stream, and that was Netflix. Big move up, finally broke past that 565 area, and we did create a nice bull flag last week, consolidated a bit before we broke up higher. We did just hit that $600, shy of that $600 psychological resistance. Going into tomorrow, I am looking above that $600 psychological round number for my entry, and I do have targets of 610 and 615 respectively. Overall, I am pretty bullish on Netflix. I do like to see stocks break above psychological resistance points such as $600, and fundamentally speaking, we did receive news and rumblings that Seinfeld is going to be on Netflix pretty soon. And as you guys know, when Seinfeld and names like, other shows that are bought up by Netflix, they do pay a huge premium for those names to be shown on their on Netflix. So stuff like that is bullish for the name. And you do want to have catalysts such as those fundamental news for a push to break past that $600 level. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep Netflix in mind going into next week. We also have analyst upgrades that we did push past that $600 mark, to push us past that $600 mark, I should say. They are bullish analyst upgrades past that $600. So look for the fundamental news such as Seinfeld being added. Look for analyst upgrades that we've already received last week and the week before on Netflix. Look for all those things to come into fruition for that break of $600. All those type of stuff are clues for your entry point when you see $600. And what you want to also see is your volume, right? You do see some strong volume here, pushed up all the way higher here. Look at this bull flag here, push up, big strong volume. So that's what you want to see on the break of 600. Pretty bullish on Netflix. and I will be watching this going into next week. Another name that caught my attention, and it did have a strong week, most notably on Friday, and that was Moderna. MRNA is the ticker. And here we are on Moderna on the hourly time frame. And as you guys can see here, 420, just shy of that, we did close on Friday. And switching over to the 4-hour chart, and I can show you how many times we've been rejected around that area. See, multiple rejections here at that 420 mark, a rejection over here back on August the 24th. We couldn't even make it up here on the 25th, right? Going into tomorrow and next week, 420 is an area that I'm going to be looking at. And if we do break that area with convincing volume, just like how I mentioned on Netflix, look for targets of 430 and 445 respectively, where we do have also strong resistance at those levels. And guys, when we do hit those targets, you can always close your position, look for market conditions to stabilize. If they're weak or strong, whatever it may be, look for catalysts, look for strong volume, and then you can always re-enter above that 430 line for potential take profits at that 445. That's why I always have two targets. Overall, I am neutral on Moderna. Definitely want to see 420 break. If we can't break 420, we are stuck into this channel right here from that 410 to 362 area. So if 410 breaks, look for targets of 400, which is support, target number one, and 390, where we did bounce back here on last week, Thursday and Friday at that 390 area. So target number one, 400 and 390. Also, those are key support levels as well if we do see some weakness. As I mentioned, I am neutral on Moderna, and I do definitely want to see those areas break. From a fundamental standpoint, there have been rumblings about a booster shot being delayed on September 20th. So stuff like that can lead to some consolidation around that time frame, around that 420 area. And then when we do receive that positive news, look for that 420 to break. So as a trader, you got to put all these clues together for your entry point, for an excellent entry point, I should say. Okay. Next name that I want us to talk about, and it is reporting earnings on Wednesday, and that is GME, one of the leaders of the meme crew. And usually when you see a GME move, you definitely see AMC move. And you'll see AMC move, you definitely see BBBY move. These names we do have on our meme watch list at Wealthy Mentor Trading. So I will be watching 232. Key level for me, multiple rejections over here back on June and July. And we also had a rejection here last week at that 232 area. On an earnings beat, look for that 232 area to break for potential take profits at 246, as we do have consolidation and multiple rejections. So first target and your second target here, again, where we do have multiple rejections at that 268, 269 area on an earnings beat. Overall, this name does tend to be the leader of the meme crew. So when you see GME move up, look for AMC to also move up. And what you want is, again, strong volume. See a big time volume here on this bar right here, big move higher here. You want something like this breaking 232 to confirm that this is a real-time move and that these targets are realistic to get hit at 245 and 238. Sorry, 268, I should say. Overall, this name, as you guys know, it is highly manipulated by Wall Street and whatnot, and volume is controlled in a specific way due to trading pools being used and orders being rerouted to other areas where it's unable. Basically, they're kind of halting the volume to their liking to some point, and they're rerouting the orders, and it's kind of creating a stalling effect. And this stock is also correlated to AMC because AMC is happening the same way as GME is. So if we do see some strong volume popping on GME and those levels break, look for AMC and all the other names also to follow through. And AMC is the next name that I want to speak about. Overall, though, I am neutral on GME 232, I would like to change my tone of voice. Next name, as I mentioned, AMC. And AMC here on the 4-hour time frame, we did have another rejection at that $48 area, much like last week. Overall, I want to see a break above $50 for potential take profits at 57 and that $60 to $62 area where we do have overhead resistance at. We have been making its trend higher on AMC ever since that $28 to $30 area was hit. We have been moving slowly higher, and overall, third time's the charm. So I'm watching above that $50 area for potential take profits at 57 to 62.60 area as my next take profit. Overall, I am neutral on AMC, and there's going to be a lot of clues on GME and on their earnings for potentially to trickle down to AMC and the other meme names. On the support side, I do have 38.50 as key support. We did bounce off that line here a few weeks ago, so I am looking as that to hold. If it doesn't, 36.5, 33, and $30 respectively are your support zones on AMC. Overall, this stock has been moving slow and steady in the past few weeks. However, if we do want to beat and break that $50 area, we definitely need to see some strong volume, such as this push up right here back on the 25th of August. I want to see something like that above $50. All right, guys, those are the 6 names that I'm going to be watching next week. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you are interested in joining at Wealthy Mentor Trading, hit the link in the bio and get started right away. We do have a promotion going on. And to recap, these 6 names, Apple pushed higher last week, approaching that 155 resistance. A break above that, I have targets of 160. Look for QQQ to also break that 382 area for Apple to move higher. NVDA at that 230 resistance. We have analyst upgrades of 260 targets prices. Netflix pushed to all-time highs. I am watching $600 psychological resistance. Moderna, 420 is a key area for me to switch my analysis from neutral to bullish. 420, I'll be watching like a hawk going into next week. And GME reports earnings on Wednesday, also correlated to AMC and the other meme names that we trade at Wealthy Mentor Trading. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this was a short week, and I do want to get these 6 names out to you guys, and it is important that you guys have these on your watch list going into tomorrow, and to have these key levels that I mentioned. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me and leave a comment in the section, and I can get back to you ASAP. And if you have any name that you want reviewed or talked about going into next week, let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much, and good luck trading getting into tomorrow. Okay? Thank you.